If a tree falls in a forest and no one is around to hear it make a sound, did it even fall? Now, I'm sure a lot of you have maybe heard this question before. And no matter what you think the answer to it is, I have my own application of it. If someone dies in a global conflict and no one posts about it, did it even happen? Now, I know this might sound a bit dark and cynical, but bear with me for a second, because it feels like somewhere in between all the cat videos and the thirst traps, we've turned a blind eye to real human suffering. We stopped caring, we stopped posting, and today I want to talk about what that silence really cost us, what it means to treat a war and scroll past it like it's just another trending sound. Now, the first thing we have to talk about is the fact that global crises are happening right now, and social media has a unique position of bringing them to our attention. Yet, when urgent issues arise, our feed is often covered in other things: entertainment, viral challenges, music, and celebrity gossip. And that's not to say that these things don't matter, but it sure feels like there should be a bigger balance of it all. For example, let's take the Myanmar civil conflict. It's been happening for decades, and multiple organizations around the world have been reporting on it, yet when violence arises, coverage is often fleeting. And this isn't just about Myanmar. Think of the war in Ukraine, the genocide of the Palestinians, the famine in Ethiopia, the conflict in Iran. The UN reports that over 100 million people worldwide are displaced every year due to these conflicts. To put that into perspective, that's the equivalent of filling up the world's largest stadium, the Narendra Modi, 757 times. Yet, despite these staggering statistics, coverage is often fleeting, overshadowed by other things. Think of the war in Ukraine. When it first started gaining traction, you probably saw it everywhere on your feeds. You probably posted some bright blue and yellow infographic, but now how deep do you have to scroll to find it anywhere? And the crisis didn't just stop. People are still dying. It just got pushed out of view. Now, the second thing we have to talk about is the fact that we scroll past these conflicts like they're just some average thing we see on our feed. And it's not because we don't care, we do. It's just some people, like most of us, have just become so numb at seeing the sheer amount of atrocities every single day. But just because we're exhausted of seeing these atrocities doesn't mean they don't happen. Take the Colombian civil conflict, for example. It has been happening for decades, causing the death of over 500,000 people and displacement of 2 million. Now, how many of you knew about it before walking into this room today? Exactly. And I'm not here to judge anyone about it. I, too, can become very ignorant at things happening around the world. I'll admit it, it becomes so easy to ignore things when it feels like they aren't impacting us. And that's where the real danger arises, when we turn a blind eye to real human suffering. Now, finally, how many global crises are we really aware of? I mean, there's the genocide of the Palestinians, the war in Ukraine, the famine in Ethiopia, the ongoing crisis in Yemen, the displacement of Afghanistan people, the civil war in Colombia and Myanmar, the dictatorship in Venezuela, and so many more. Yet how many of us really feel them whenever we see them on social media or in some type of news network? How many of us just scroll past them looking for the next distraction? I'll admit it. It becomes so overwhelming sometimes looking at the sheer atrocities of the world. It feels like every time I open Instagram, some new crisis is happening. Some new family is being torn apart because a bomb is falling on their house. But just because we're exhausted and we scroll past them doesn't mean they stop happening. It doesn't mean families stop being torn apart. Because it could be the person next to you. who was a refugee. Maybe you don't know them, but they had to come to the United States because a militia group was threatening their family. It could be the person 2 rows in front or back of you who has a mother and a baby sister at the border trying to come in because a bomb was dropped on their house. It could be absolutely anyone in this room who has lost someone they love because of one of these global crises. We have gotten too good at thinking we're doing just enough to feel like we're actually doing something but doing nothing at all. We have gone too good at ignoring real human suffering. We have gone too good at thinking we care without actually doing anything. Because right now, somewhere in the world, there is a child digging through rubble, trying to find the body of their little sister. She was 5, loved mangoes, had a laugh that could split the sky open, and now she's gone. Erased by a war she never asked for. And while that child is digging through the rubble, trying to find the remains of her sister, we share a hashtag. We say, "This is heartbreaking," and then we move on. Because it's easier to pretend that the world isn't on fire when the fire isn't at your front door. But here's the thing. You are not as helpless as you think you are. People want you to feel that way, but you have the actual power of helping these people. Your voice still matters. As crude as it sounds, your money still matters. Donate. Your platform, your rage, your everything still matters when it comes to helping these people. Because at the end of the day, you can't stop a war by yourself. But you sure can fund a family's next meal. You can protect a protester, you can dispel misinformation online, you can write to your state representatives every day, and if they ignore you, you make noise they can't ignore. Boycott, divest, show up, speak out, vote like lives depend on it, because they do. Demand better from your friends, your teachers, your schools, your churches, your workplaces. And if you feel fear, imagine what fear feels like under falling bombs. If you feel hopeless, good, it still means you're human, but don't you dare stay that way. Because hopelessness is a luxury the oppressed cannot afford. Because if someone dies in a global conflict and no one posts about it, they're still dead. Someone's parent, someone's sibling, someone's child, someone's partner, someone's best friend, someone's everything is gone. Because you have the power to help the unseen become seen. Thank you.